something very special to me. Going through a 4-day challenge is pretty spectacular, and you should really give yourself a pat on your back and congratulate you for staying committed to you, for wanting to make the change, and for doing the work this week. I am very excited for you, and you should be excited for yourself as you are making your way to that life that you truly want. And I wanted to share with you someone that went through this same challenge a few months ago. Um, and I wanted to share with her some of the things that she's learned, some of the things that, some of her perspective, where she was and what she's doing now, just so you can see what's possible for you. So I'd like to welcome Cheryl. Hey there.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. First, Cheryl, thank you so much for being here and sharing you and your story. I really, really appreciate it. I think it's one thing to make a commitment to yourself and really do the work, and it's another to share your experience with others. So thank you, and realize that this is also a growth for you as well. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm honored to be here.
So, when you went through this 4-day challenge, what part of you realized that you know what, I want it to, I'm going to put that application in?
Well, when I went through the 4-day challenge, I was kind of at a point in my life where I was just like, something's got to happen, something's got to give.
Mm,
And I learned so much in how to, like, some tools just by going through the 4-day challenge that had helped me in that short amount of time. So
awesome.
I decided, let me put in this application and see where it goes.
And were you scared to apply?
I was very scared to apply. I didn't know what to expect at all.
Right. And so after doing the application, there was a phone part, there's a form that you fill out, and then there's a phone conversation that happens with the application. And when we set up the phone call and we did the phone call, and I know this is going back a few months now, but what are some of the things that you remembered that were like, just the phone call alone gave you, perspective and awareness and insight?
Um, well, the one thing that I remember, I don't remember our whole conversation. I know we were on the phone for a while, but um, I felt very heard and seen by
Mm,
you just in that short amount of time. And um, you explained to me on the phone call that what the challenge that I was dealing with was learning how, like, what love is, how to be loved.
mm,
Um, and that kind of, it really struck a chord with me. And it was like, oh, like, yeah, this is something that I've been dealing with forever.
mm.
I didn't know, like, I couldn't put my finger on like what the issue was.
Right, right. Well, I'm so glad you got that just in the conversation. And
Yeah.
and so through the conversation and through your decision making process, were you scared? Like, speak into that a little bit, because I feel like that holds a lot of people back, right? Like they go through this challenge and they really get so excited, not just excited, they actually start to see change. And then it's like, oh, I got to take another step.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know what? I don't know if I could do that one. And it's okay wherever you're at, but like, how did you overcome that? You said you were scared to fill out the application, you were scared to have the conversation. How did you overcome that?
Well, I mean, for me, something in me, in my gut, was just like telling me to keep pushing forward, like keep pushing, just go through with it, see where it goes. Um, and I was scared, like I was petrified of the price. um, I just didn't know how I was going to do it, and part of me right away was like, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do this for myself.
Mm,
And then all of a sudden, I got like this feeling, and I was like, if I don't do this, then how am I ever going to move forward?
mm.
And right then and there, I was like, I have to do this. I'll figure it out along the way.
Awesome. And with that commitment to yourself, with that following, that trusting, that inner guidance, that your soul or your intuition or your gut, however you want to say it, by following that, how how has your decision to take care of you, to step up and really put yourself first and to start to process and heal things and shift things, how has that impacted your life already?
Gosh.
Mhm.
um, I mean, it's impacted it a lot. Not to say that I don't still, doubt things, but I feel more um, like I can let, when the doubt comes up, I can let those things go and just
Mm,
know that I'm more trusting. I have more
awesome.
faith and trust in knowing that things are going to work out the way that they are meant to for me.
That's awesome. To be able to step into that trusting, into that knowing, into that just, some people call it surrender, just surrendering to the process of life. And um, prior, where was your thought process? Like, you're saying you're trusting here and you have this sense of knowing and you're following your intuition, but where were you before you started? And I know you're only a few weeks in, maybe 13, not even quite 13 weeks in.
Almost,
So
yeah.
yeah, into the program. Where were you before?
Um, I was like a frightened little girl. That's what it felt
Mm,
like. I was just scared that I was never gonna see like the light of day, never gonna get to a point where I felt like I was gonna be able to move forward, um, or just get past all of the unhappiness, the stuckness. I
mm,
felt hopeless.
wow. From hopeless to trusting in less than 13 weeks. I mean, that's freaking amazing. I have to say, pat yourself on the back for stepping up and doing the work. Yes, awesome, awesome. So I would like you to share to someone that's gone through the challenge and wanting to fill out that application but hasn't filled it out. What words of wisdom could you share with them from your perspective of being in their shoes just a few weeks ago, months ago?
Well, I would say that even if you're scared to go through the application process and the phone call, to feel the fear and do it anyway. Go
Mm,
through it, see what happens, see what comes up for you. Um, Talk to Brenda, because even in that phone call, even if it's just a phone call and you don't move forward or whatever, you're going to receive so much healing in that alone.
mm,
Um, but really listen to your gut, listen to your heart and what it's telling you, because fear is going to come up. It always does. It's trying to um, comfort you. It's trying to it's ego. That's how I look at it. It's ego just coming up saying, I'm trying to protect you.
mhm,
But sometimes that gets in the way of your growth and your healing. And that's what was coming up for me. And if I didn't listen to that and if I didn't push past that, I would not be on the road that I'm in now. Yes, it's work, but it's worth it. The work is worth it. And I mean, just in less than 13 weeks, I feel like a totally different person. I still have more work to do, but I, the change in me is amazing in that short amount of time. So I'm just go for it.
That's awesome. And what's really, really cool, Cheryl, just to give you perspective, is the first 13 weeks is your, I'll say, foundation. It's the part of you that really gets to dive in and do, like, I'll say, like, the big healings. Not saying there's not going to be healings throughout the rest of the 12 months or 9 months together, right? There most certainly is. There's still 9 months of content to go through, but what I'm saying is this is a big deal, what you just did and what you went through. And most people have gone through many, many different types of healings, from hypnotherapy to energy heal. I mean, I'm an energy worker and I believe in all that, but to do energy healing, and I know you are as well, to
Mhm.
do therapy, to reading self-help books, to counseling, to shamanic healings, and all these things, and even courses on the chakras. I mean, I spoke a lot about the chakras this week, and even people taking courses on the chakras. So what do you feel is the difference between the work that you've done in these 13 weeks, or almost 13 weeks, versus any other thing that you've tried or have done in the past?
I've done a lot in the past.
Such as what, to give some people
Oh
some
gosh, I've
perspective?
taken chakra courses. I've read books. Um, I've taken other courses, like video courses. I get a lot. I've done a lot.
Hmm.
I've done like the healings, and not that, like you said, like not that they don't help, they do. But the difference is with Fear to Freedom, you have community because you're with other women
Hmm.
and you're supporting each other every step of the way, and accountability, and you help us through everything. You're there every step of the way. You're very accessible, and you just, for me, as you, it's like a sense of belonging and just feeling loved. Like I'm supported and I'm loved every step of the way.
Well, you are 100%. Awesome. And as we wrap up, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really important for people to hear some of the differences from other things that are out there versus what we're doing here. And just to wrap up, is there anything that you would like to share with someone that's listening and has their finger on the submit button, or wants to fill out the application, or just and maybe they're not even ready to fill out the application, but any words of inspiration or any pieces of advice that you could give them to help them move in the next step, the next, move that needle one more degree towards happiness?
Yeah. Um, well, this quote is coming up for me to say, it's not the days in your life that counts, it's the life in your days that counts.
Mm,
Um, so if you're feeling scared or unhappy, stuck, whatever it is, something is keeping you there, and it's fear. It's fear of moving forward, of the unknown, of not knowing if this is right for you, not knowing what you need. And if you don't take a risk or a chance on yourself, no one else is.
mm,
So it's time for you to love yourself
mm.
and to do what you need to do to live your best life.
So true. Show
Yeah.
them your little rose quartz love right there. She's sending love to everybody. And
Always.
your heart, your
Yeah.
crystal. It's
Yes.
so beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Cheryl, thank you for sharing you and your story, your vulnerability, your openness, your willingness to continue to grow and thrive and to do the work. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
To help the ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
And my goal is to raise universal consciousness one person at a time. And if we keep moving and helping each other, we're going to get there. So, thank you for being you. And for you that's listening, it's time for you to take the risk, as Cheryl said. It's time for you to not let any excuse get in your way, not let the fear get in your way, the money excuse, the time excuse, and none of that. Those are all blocks, resistance showing up. I promise you, you can switch the dialogue, you can switch your thinking, you can switch anything to create what you want as long as you truly, truly want it. So, Cheryl, thank you for truly wanting it. It's been so much fun and a pleasure to watch you grow, and I'm excited to continue our journey together.
Thank
And for you listening, see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.